So this video is kind of like a year in review. I'm just gonna talk through some of the bookish and book adjacent things I've done this year. So I read 107 books in 2018. Substantially more than I've ever read. The year before that, I think I read like close to 80 books, maybe 80, a little bit more than 80. And I actually didn't know if I was gonna reach my goal. First, I was finishing up my last semester at university for the first half of 2018, and my struggle with a design capstone plus an honors thesis, like, shit got really bad. I wasn't reading, it was maybe like a book a week. And then the summer happened where I got recruited into my 2-year program where I teach now, and the training for that, there was no time to read. And then somehow after I started teaching, my reading habits just like exponentially increased, even though I didn't actually feel like I was reading anything. And that was because I got super into reading audiobooks, like super into reading audiobooks. Nowadays I haven't picked up a physical book in a while. It's either been ebooks or audiobooks, and like ebooks are very difficult for me because if it's fantasy, I need a physical book or an audiobook. I can't do fantasy in ebook format. I can only do romances in ebook format. So I ended up buying a lot of those for like $2.99, $1.99, and then a couple that I really loved for full price ebooks. But audiobooks, I got Libby and Hoopla and Cloud Library, which are all library related audiobook apps. Check your local library website to see what you have available. And I hooked up Austin, Houston, and Chicago libraries, online databases, to my app. And I've just been going fucking ham reading audiobooks on my commute to work, on my commute back from work, during like my 1-hour lunchtime at work. Audiobooks constantly, and I think that's how I got to my 107, which brings me to my next thing about my 2018 bookish habits. I've been reading a shit ton of audiobooks. Now, I've talked about it a lot, so I don't need to go more into it, but I swear to God, audiobooks have saved me and my reading habits. I don't think I would have been reading as much if it weren't for audiobooks. Somehow, I kind of enjoy the books a little bit more in that sense, because I'm stress-free, because I'm doing it during a time where I can't really do anything else when I'm driving. I'm engaging in one of my favorite hobbies, reading, and I'm getting through books that I've wanted to read, but I haven't been able to read or haven't been able to buy. Like, I've read so many books that I just kind of happened upon while searching other books and read them on a whim and actually enjoyed them. This audiobooks also kind of helped me cut down on how many books I was purchasing, because this way I had a book to read and I could evaluate whether or not I wanted to buy it after I finished the audiobook. So a lot of books that I was kind of meh on, I didn't end up buying, because I read the audiobook and I didn't feel like I needed them. So I saved some money there, actually. Obviously, I still ended up spending a shit ton of money buying books, but I ended up buying them on Book Outlet, Book Depository, and then not thrift books. There's another book website, Better World Books, where I'm getting, old library books, bargain books, damaged books for like $2.99, $3.99, $1.99. Hardcovers too, for dirt cheap. And I've kind of accepted not buying like perfect, pristine new books, because I've read them. And if it's just for the novelty of having the book after already having read the book, then cheap bargain books, secondhand books are, I think, a significantly more environmentally ethical and financially conscious decision in how much I spend. I also actually ventured into a new genre for my typical reading habits, which is adult romance. This happened after I started watching witty novels, also get really into adult romance. Yeah, new adult, I think, is just trying to do something new, but the authors haven't found their sweet spot of having unproblematic romances. Adult romance genre actually has plenty of them, and there's books coming out that are actually really fantastic. So I'm really enjoying reading adult romances. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, my favorite this year. There's also The Hating Game, which I really loved. The Kiss Quotient. I kind of fell off the earth in terms of YouTube because work started. Haven't had the stamina or the willpower to sit down, film, and edit, and also living with a roommate who doesn't know I do YouTube makes things kind of awkward because I'm very uncomfortable talking to a camera in front of people who don't know I talk to a camera, even in front of people who know I talk to a camera. I started my Bookstagram this year, Deco Badges, with 2 S's at the end. We'll link it down below if I ever upload this video. And I have, I think, it's been fluctuating between 140 to 150 followers, which, considering I haven't been posting every day and have gone for weeks at a time without posting, 145 is actually mind-boggling that people like my photos. I know I'm a good photographer. I have a degree in design. Like, I know I'm decent at this. I'm not a horrible photographer. I guess I just haven't found my, like, sweet spot stylistically. I take a lot of, like, blanket and drapery photos. It's very, like, studio product advertising photo thing that I've been doing, and a lot of detail shots, which is not typical of BookTube, of Bookstagram. Like, I'm just starting to get into Bookstagram, and I'm hopefully maybe will do more of that this year, but I started that, and I have followers, and good things are happening. I got a couple of arcs, actually. I got, where is it? Down and Across as a review arc. That's my first ever arc sent to me to review specifically. Made an Instagram post about it. Is my video in focus? I don't care at this point. And I also got my first ever arc, which is, I don't know if it's, no, it's up on my shelf over there, I think. Or is it down here? It's up there. It's Arusha and the End of Time. I actually got that arc in an Instagram giveaway and have never won any of those, like, probability giveaways. I've never won one. So this came as a shock, but I was so excited to get it. And I fucking love Roshni Chokshi, so that was a perfect book to win it on. Made friends from BookTube, Bookstagram. I met Ashley from Ashley Outpaged at Texas Teen Book Festival in 2016, and, like, I would consider her a friend. Like, I made friends through Bookstagram, BookTube. I bought another bookshelf. I thought I was gonna keep Chicago book collection to maybe like 10, but I already have 2 of these 4x2 Target bookshelves there that are full to bursting already. So apparently I still continue to have no chill. Oh, I just saw them. But I learned how to bind books this year. I hand bound and learned how to hand bind hardcover sketchbooks for my own use. So I literally don't have to buy, if I'm sensible and practical about my spending habits on art supplies, I don't have to buy sketchbooks for years, because it literally takes me like 6 months to finish a sketchbook. And these are like 100-page sketchbooks too. So I learned how to make my own sketchbooks and notebooks. Wonderful. Don't have to spend money on those. Will have to spend money on paper, but, like, I have a whole stack of them, and I practically shouldn't be spending money on sketchbooks, but we'll see if that actually is a thing that I stick by. I also got to meet favorite authors. I met Victoria Schwab this year up in Chicago. I drove a whole hour out from my apartment on a weekday to meet her, spoke to her, gave her a sketchbook. I don't know if I probably should upload that vlog. I filmed, I just never edited or put those clips together. Yeah. So I met Victoria Schwab. I met Sandhya Menon again in Chicago, an hour out from my home. I got a second copy of When Dimple Met Rishi, paperback, signed and personalized. She kind of recognized me, and then I spoke to her some more, and then she was like, oh yeah, I did meet you. So that was great. So she knows me. Hopefully, she's seen me twice now, so hopefully if I find her again at another book event next year, hopefully she'll remember me again. Yeah, I think that's about it in terms of my bookish year in review. Yeah. I think my sign off is going to be, hopefully I'll edit